Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today with us. I'm Adrien Sala, the Minister responsible for Manitoba Hydro and the Minister of Finance for our new government. I want to start off today by saying on behalf of the Manitoba government, we are standing here on the ancestral land of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Dene, Dakota, Métis, Inuit, and Anishinaabe nations. It's with that tone of reconciliation and collaboration that I am very happy to be here today to speak about how our government is working together with the federal government for the people of Manitoba. We are joined here today by the Deputy Prime Minister, our Premier, our partners at Manitoba Hydro, and municipal leaders. As the Minister responsible for Manitoba Hydro, I am very excited about this announcement. To share more details, I'd like to first invite up the Deputy Prime Minister and my federal counterpart in finance, Chrystia Freeland. Chrystia?
And I apologize to Adrien that he had to stand on that step. I think it's more for me than for him. Okay, good morning, everyone. It is so wonderful to be here. Really, really great to be with our new partners here from the province of Manitoba. Great to see the mayors here. Thank you for driving all the way from Brandon. Not such an easy morning to drive, so really appreciated. And great to see all the hardworking, dedicated people at Manitoba Hydro. I know how hard you work. You guys are so important to the people of Manitoba and the economic future of Manitoba. And the fact that Manitoba has such a clean electrical grid is just a huge advantage for this wonderful province today and going forward. And I'm really delighted that we're able to invest in it further. Okay, I'd like to start by acknowledging that we're located on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. I really am so happy to be here in Winnipeg today at Manitoba Hydro with Premier Kinew and Minister Sala to share some really exciting news for the people of Manitoba. And I do want to start by saying I had a great first meeting yesterday with the Premier and with the Minister. The Minister and I had spoken on the phone, but it was our first meeting in person. Really inspiring. And I am tremendously excited about the ways that we are going to be able to work together, the federal government, the province of Manitoba, for the people of Manitoba. I'm really looking forward to working together to deliver for the people of Manitoba. And I know that the Prime Minister and everyone else across our government is really, really excited about what is already becoming a very close partnership between the federal government and this fantastic province. Le Manitoba est une chef de file canadienne en matière d'énergie renouvelable. Plus de 99% de l'énergie produite dans cette province provient de sources d'énergie propres. 99%, c'est merveilleux. Comme l'hydroélectricité et l'énergie éolienne, ce qui signifie que le Manitoba et tous ceux et celles qui travaillent ici à Hydro Manitoba sont à l'avant-garde de l'immense virage mondial qui s'opère en ce moment même. La course à la mise en place d'une économie mondiale propre constitue la transformation économique la plus importante depuis la révolution industrielle. Et au Canada, comme dans le reste du monde, l'économie propre reposera presque entièrement sur l'électricité propre, puisque les entreprises cherchent à réduire les émissions de l'ensemble de leur chaîne d'approvisionnement. L'électricité propre sera absolument essentielle pour les entreprises du Manitoba et elle sera essentielle pour fournir une énergie abordable et fiable aux citoyennes et aux citoyens de cette belle province. And so the importance of clean energy, of clean electricity, the centrality of clean electricity to our economy going forward is why I am so delighted to be here today to announce the newest investments through our government's economic plan. $184.9 million in federal funding for two essential projects: the Pointe-du-Bois Renewable Energy Project and the Portage Area Capacity Enhancement Project. The Pointe-du-Bois Renewable Energy Project will replace 8 hydroelectric generating units and add 52 megawatts to the Manitoba Hydro grid. And the Portage Area Capacity Enhancement Project will construct a new transmission line in the Portage-La Prairie area for Manitoba Hydro. Together, these two projects will mean cleaner, more reliable, and more affordable energy for thousands and thousands of households and businesses across this province. Our economic plan is all about making Canada a clean electricity superpower. And we know that Manitoba, the workers, the businesses, all the people here are already leading the way. We are going to continue to work with you and be your partner. That's why we made historic investments in clean electricity in our 2023 budget. And it is why we attached labor requirements to our new clean electricity investment tax credit. This is the first time in Canadian history for a tax credit, and this is going to mean prevailing union wages for workers and apprenticeship opportunities, more apprenticeship opportunities being created right here in Manitoba. Our economic plan is working. A recent report from the OECD found that Canada received the 3rd most direct foreign investment of any country in the OECD in the first half of this year, and that is the total quantum. It's not per capita. So we are really, really attracting investment in our economic plan in Canada's real opportunity to be a clean energy superpower and bring in the jobs and the investment that that results in. Most importantly, our plan is delivering clean, reliable, and affordable electricity to people here in Manitoba, and it is creating great jobs, great careers for people right across Manitoba, including great careers at places like Manitoba Hydro. I am so excited about what the years to come will mean for Manitoba. Premier Kinew and his team have a committed partner in our federal government. Minister Sala has a finance minister in the federal government who is already enjoying working with him, and I look forward to continuing to do that. I am really, really looking forward. I'm delighted about today's announcement. It is just the first of many. And I am really looking forward to continuing to work with the province of Manitoba to create great jobs, great careers, great lives for the people of this wonderful province. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister Freeland. We're very grateful to know that Manitobans have such a reliable and great partner in the federal government. Now I'd like to welcome our Premier and my good friend, Wab Kinew, for comments.
Je remercie le ministre d'être ici en Manitoba aujourd'hui pour cette annonce qui est très, très excitante et qui nous montre une grande opportunité pour construire la prochaine génération d'emplois pour les Manitobains et Manitobaines. I'm very happy to be here today, and it's with a warm and hearty handshake that I welcome the Deputy Prime Minister here to Manitoba for this really, really big announcement. This is a big deal for Manitoba. This is a big deal for Winnipeg, and so I'm glad that Mayor Gillingham is here because it's going to mean a lot of jobs. This is a big deal for Brandon. And so I'm very happy to see Mayor Fawcett here today. We know that one of the big challenges we hear about from business leaders and from residents in Brandon is about getting hydro hookups. And this investment at Portage is going to help facilitate that sort of growth for a very important city in our province. And this announcement is a big deal for jobs. If you do the math on the investment that's happening here, we're talking about some 5,000 jobs for Manitobans. That's big. And our government is very happy to partner with the Government of Canada on this investment, because for the past 7 years in Manitoba, our skilled trades, our workers, have been going out west to build pipelines. But with this investment, we're going to bring them home to build Manitoba Hydro projects, to build transmission projects, to build generating projects, to power our low-carbon economy with good-paying, blue-collar jobs. I'm very excited about that. So to the skilled trades workers out there, the members of LIUNA, the members of the operating engineers, call the Union Hall. Let them know you want to work on these projects that we're announcing here today. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge that we are making this announcement, and that both the benefits and impacts of hydro activities take place on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Dakota, the Dene, the Inuit, the Métis, and the Anishinaabe nations of Manitoba. And as we move forward with these announcements, we are going to ensure that opportunities are created to advance reconciliation here in this great province of ours. Manitoba Hydro is one of the most important assets that we own as Manitobans. Manitobans should be proud that you own some $32 billion in assets that are going to allow us to be that superpower that Minister Freeland is talking about when it comes to the low-carbon economy of the future. Manitobans, in all your wisdom over the past 5 decades, have built this up and positioned our province to be ready to make the most of this current moment where the world is looking to decarbonize, where the corporate world is looking at ESG when they're deciding where to make their next generation investments. And of course, the people of Manitoba, we are so very humble. We're so very humbled by the fact that you have invested in our team the great honor of forming your next government here in Manitoba. And we committed during the recent election campaign to bring people together across different community lines, across different geographic regions, to build an economy for the future and a healthcare system that works for all of us. And this announcement here today, I think, is a great step towards delivering good jobs and an economy that helps us also to move the needle when it comes to combating global warming. Now, in order for Manitoba Hydro to be able to deliver on this, we always have to keep Manitoba Hydro public. We also know that we need to advance critical priorities, such as reconciliation with Indigenous nations. That's why our government was very proud that one of our first actions was to remove the order in council which prevented Manitoba Hydro from engaging in a fulsome way with Indigenous nations in Manitoba. It's a simple step, but it's an important step towards resetting the priority. And so the priority for Manitoba Hydro is cheap electricity for you, the people of Manitoba. It's to combat global warming, it's to create good jobs, and it's to advance reconciliation for the future of our province. And we're very happy to work with the good employees of Manitoba Hydro here today to move forward with this important announcement. Now, Canadians and Manitobans want to see progress when it comes to climate change. And I think it's significant that we have a partner at the federal level that is going to move the needle along with us when it comes to climate action. And I'm very, very optimistic about the good work that our teams are going to be able to do together. Today is big news. Today is a big step, but let's be clear that this should be a first step towards many other actions the governments of Manitoba and Canada can take to make life better for you. And we know that the way that we make things better is by working together. And so once again, I want to thank Minister Freeland for coming here today to make this important announcement. And I want to encourage the people of Manitoba to engage with us on this journey of creating good jobs, of making life more affordable, and of doing our part to combat global warming. So with that, I say miigwech pizindayik, merci beaucoup d'avoir m'écouté, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Premier. I think we can all agree today is indeed a very exciting day for the province. This federal partnership means more Manitobans will have the reliable, clean energy they need to keep the lights on across our province and to grow our clean energy economy. Manitoba Hydro is our crown jewel, and this is as much an investment in today as it is a commitment for future generations. So with that, we're happy to open it for questions.
So it'll be one question, one follow-up. Ce sera une question et une question en suivi. Merci. And journalists interested in asking questions can line up here. Thank you.
Question for Minister Freeland. Minister, what went through your head when Premier Kinew said that he'd like to see the carbon tax off of home heating oil here in Manitoba as well?
Well, I had my first meeting with Premier Kinew yesterday, and it was a really, really inspiring and encouraging conversation. Our government's priorities are to build an economy which is growing and creates jobs and prosperity for everyone, to make life affordable for Canadians, and to act on climate. Those are the things we focus on every single day. And those are our core values. And what I heard from the Premier yesterday, what we heard from him this morning, is those are his priorities too. And so I am absolutely convinced that we share the same values, we share the same priorities, and that this government of Manitoba and our federal government are going to be able to do great things together for the people of Manitoba. And today's announcement, this is a big announcement. Together, we're investing close to $500 million, creating thousands and thousands of jobs, ensuring even more clean power for Manitoba that is going to provide cheap electricity for people who live here and is a huge magnet for investment. So we have tons in common. We're doing something concrete together today, and it's just the beginning.
And speaking of those priorities, this government is looking for federal funds for heat pumps or geothermal systems. What's the prospect of federal funding being extended to Manitoba for that?
So we announced on heat pumps that the federal government is absolutely open to working with every province and territory across the country that wants to work with us to help people transition from home heating oil to heat pumps or geothermal. And the Premier and I had a very brief discussion about that yesterday. Our government is working closely with the province of Manitoba on that.
Okay. Next question. Prochaine question. And could journalists please state their name and their outlet?
Jeff Keel, CTV. Mr. Premier, just to follow up on what Bart was asking, did you discuss with Deputy Prime Minister Freeland about a carve-out for the carbon tax in Manitoba, similar to the Maritimes?
The conversation that we had was an excellent start to a very positive relationship, and I am so happy that the Deputy Prime Minister came here to get these funds moving so we can put people to work in Manitoba. We're standing together here today, the governments of Manitoba and Canada, to say that we're going to invest an additional $500 million to put some 5,000 people to work to build the next generation in low-carbon economic opportunities for the people of Manitoba. And so this is a very exciting announcement here today, and I really, really look forward to being able to work together with Minister Freeland and the Government of Canada, along with our team, to create more good jobs and a more affordable quality of life for people here in Manitoba. And hey, along the way, if we can build Manitoba into a showcase jurisdiction that shows other provinces, other states and countries that you can have an advanced, growing economy with good jobs while doing your part to solve the climate crisis, then I think that that's something we're all going to be proud of working on together.
So, did you discuss a carve-out for the carbon tax with the Deputy Prime Minister?
We have an amazing opportunity to work together with the Government of Canada, and I think we're going to have a really strong working relationship for years to come, to do many more exciting announcements like this one today, which sees us investing in generating capacity, which sees us investing in transmission capacity for both Portage and the Westman region. And because I'm so optimistic about the strength of this working relationship, I know that you'll understand that the contents of a preliminary meeting that the Finance Minister and I have together are going to remain between us.
All right. Next question. Prochaine question.
Good morning, Brittany Hobson from the Canadian Press. We'll just first start by asking a question about the announcement made today. Can we provide any timelines on these projects, when we're expected to see them up and running?
Well, I think we want to get shovels in the ground as soon as possible. We know that if you talk to folks in the Westman region, in Brandon, when you talk to folks in Portage about the economic opportunities there, there's a lot that we can do by way of future job creation opportunities. And the sooner that we get these projects moving, the sooner that we are going to be able to put people to work and to create those opportunities. And I think it's a very positive sign that Minister Freeland is here to show the Government of Canada's commitment to moving forward at a very good pace. And we know that there's important work that needs to be done with engaging with Indigenous nations and engaging with local communities to ensure that the benefits of these projects are going to be widely shared to create prosperity for everybody. But we know that we all want to move very quickly on these files.
And my follow-up is for Deputy Prime Minister. Are you able to provide any update on when your government will present the fall fiscal?
The fall economic update, fall economic statement. I'm not going to announce that here today at this, I'm sorry. I would like to, but I can't tell you the date today.
All right. Next question. Prochaine question.
Danielle from the Winnipeg Free Press. Excuse me, my question's for the Premier. So Minister Freeland discussed or mentioned the shared priorities that the two governments have. I'm wondering, would you describe a carbon tax exemption on natural gas for Manitoba as one of your priorities?
I think our priority today is to share the news with Manitobans that your federal government and your provincial government are working together to put people to work. I think Manitobans in every region want to see the people that they send to elected office work together to improve things like healthcare, like making life more affordable, like tackling the humanitarian crisis that is homelessness, and that is no longer just confined to downtown Winnipeg, but actually permeates the entirety of our province. And so you will know from the recent election that our top priority is always healthcare and making life more affordable. And I think that the other big thing that we've articulated over our recent campaign and time in office is that the economic horse pulls the social cart. And I think where the priorities align for the Government of Canada and the Government of Manitoba is that, yes, the economic horse pulls the social cart, but a clean, safe, healthy environment is the path on which that economic horse walks. And so I'm asking you all to indulge me in this extended metaphor here. But I think the point is, we know that the way to have a sustainable economy that is going to last for decades and decades to come and put food on the table for Manitobans is by doing it in a low-carbon way, and to continue to invest in the trail that's been broken and cleared for us by Manitoba Hydro.
My follow-up is either for you or for Minister Sala. So $184 million in federal investment in these projects. What is the province's commitment financially to these projects, and what might that mean for ratepayers down the line?
The balance would be with Manitoba Hydro, and it is already accounted for in Manitoba Hydro's capital plan. So our commitment on affordable rates is maintained while we make this big announcement today to be able to create more jobs and to create more economic opportunity down the road by building up transmission and generation capacity in Manitoba.
All right. Next question. Prochaine question.
Hey, just Mike Sonoma, Global News. So the federal government has cut a deal with the Quebec provincial government for housing funding, but in other provinces like in Ottawa or in Manitoba, Ottawa is going straight to municipalities. Do you have a problem with this approach to housing funding?
Good question.
And that's for Premier Kinew, though.
Oh, okay. I'm very excited to work with Mayor Gillingham, Mayor Fawcett, municipal leaders across Manitoba to address our needs around housing. And I'm also very happy to say that at the same time that we've been building these strong relationships at the municipal level here in Manitoba, that we have a federal partner who stepped up to make a significant investment in good jobs and in the future of our crown jewel in Manitoba Hydro. So I'm very optimistic that on this file of job creation and creating a more affordable quality of life, on housing, we're going to be able to work together in a really good way to deliver results for you, the people of Manitoba.
Perfect. And I just have a follow-up for Minister Freeland as well.
Okay, I noticed that you said perfect after the Premier answered the question. That's very nice of you.
Wow. Okay. Anyway,
I would
so
like
for
it
the-
if journalists
for
said
the
that after
follow-up-
I answered
For the follow-up
the
question, can you explain why your government has taken an asymmetrical approach to housing funding, taking one approach with Quebec and another for every other province?
So I'm really glad to have housing raised. It is a huge priority for our government. I think it's a huge priority for every single Canadian. The great thing about Canada is we are a growing country. We are probably the country in the Western industrialized world which is the most open to immigration, and that's wonderful. That is a huge part of Canada's economic growth story. It means, though, that we need to build more homes faster, and our government is absolutely committed to that. We've heard just now from the Premier how committed he and the province of Manitoba are to that. And we have a couple of mayors here. Thank you very much for being here. I think their presence, I probably shouldn't speak for them, so let me just say I hope their presence shows the importance for them of investments in Manitoba Hydro, the importance for them of what these investments mean for the economy and for cheap electricity for all of the people who live in Brandon and Winnipeg. And I really believe that your mayors who are here, like the federal government, like the province of Manitoba, absolutely believe we need to have more homes built faster. The National Housing Accelerator is about the federal government investing in cities across the country to help them get more homes built faster. I think that's a great thing for cities across the country. I think it's a great thing for provinces and territories across the country. And I am very keen to work with the municipalities across Manitoba, together with the provincial government, on this issue and many others. The Premier said, Canada works best when we collaborate, when we can all work together. I 100% agree with that, and I am really confident that on housing, as we have seen with today's announcement on electricity, we're going to have a very collaborative relationship in this amazing province across all orders of government.
Okay, next question. Oh, it's one question per journalist.
I just have one
No,
for national, though.
I'm sorry, it's one question per journalist.
I realize. I just have one question on behalf of our national people.
I'm so sorry. It's one question per journalist. Okay, so that'll conclude today's press conference. Thank you so much, everybody. C'est ma fin de la conférence de presse. Merci tout le monde.
It's just unfortunate when you guys don't send out an advisory at all, and then no media outlet here received an advisory, our national people.